Hello everyone and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Today we're pressing bikini. How far is it from your room to the inner temple?
Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine.
Do you not have feet? You have stumps?
It's about 50 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakura Temple. The inner temple is just beyond that bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along with the walkway towards the main hall.
Hold it! You say you heard a noise.
A thump, just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump, just like that.
But then, couldn't the noise you heard been the snow falling to the ground?
I never thought of that. Next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard.
Hold it! This is the second time that the witness has testified as seeing the defendant, but some doubt remains in these claims.
Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to...
The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw, as clearly as you can.
Huh. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that's just been bugging me all this time.
Please do keep us in suspense. Or don't keep us in suspense.
Her hood!
Her hood?
That's right. It's coming back to me. Oh, she wasn't wearing her hood. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? Ah, you dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth.
What do you have to say, Miss Edgeworth? Is this testimony important? Yeah, it's probably important. This may initially appear to put me at a disadvantage, but I can't see any other leads at the moment. Your Honor, I would like these new statements to be added to the testimony.
Huh. Miles Edgeworth. If you want to hang yourself, you only need only ask. I'll gladly lend you my whip.
Dark. Witness, add that statement to your testimony, eh?
No problem.
Hold it! Are you sure about that?
Yeah, after all, we always wear the same clothes. And they smell horrible because we never wash them either. I don't mean because we're poor, you understand? It's just our style. Don't hate us.
There's absolutely no need to explain yourself, because I don't care.
Anyway, she looked different from normal, so that really stuck out. Like me holding a whippet puppy instead of my whip.
1 second. 1 second. Whippet puppy. Aww. Oh, they got long faces. Are they a member of the Greyhounds family? Whippet is a dog breed medium size. They're a descendant from Greyhounds. Okay, I was gonna say they look very much like Greyhounds. They are adorable. All right. Well, you should hold one of those. I might like you better. At least then it might bite you and not someone else.
Iris didn't have a hood on, I'm sure of it.
Very well. Now, please tell us about the victim. Eh? Hold it! The room the victim was staying in overlooked the courtyard, correct? Which means the victim's room was on the second floor.
No. Hazakura Temple is a single-story building. But the mountain itself is slopes downwards, which elevates the main gate side of the temple and the guest rooms in the back to about the height of a 2-story building.
I see. And the victim was staying in one of these elevated rooms, correct?
Yeah, I should have known. I should know. I'm the one who carried her things to her room after all.
What makes you so sure of all this?
It's just like I told you earlier. I heard a noise from the courtyard, okay? Thump, just like that.
You're one smart sister, I'll give you that. The autopsy report states that the victim's body was covered in bruises, indicating a fall from around 10 feet in height. Oh my god. Also, my god, you have some tiny feet. They really are stubs. It appears that the witness was not mistaken then.
Yep. I'm more than just a pretty face, especially in winter. I'm a woman of faith, after all. The head honcho of Hatsukuro Temple.
There's only 2 of them working there.
What's wrong, Miles Edgeworth? No snappy comeback remark.
Don't feel like she's lying. This is a very powerful testimony. I wish Gumshoe was on the stand with us like Maya. She claims to have seen the incident in which the defendant stabbed the victim. There's only 2 things I can believe right now. My client and Iris, and my own abilities as a defense attorney. Okay. Huh. Okay, let's see. I don't know. What exactly I need to do? Ooh, after death. After death. I didn't see that part before. Oh, after death. That's gotta be important. So she was already dead. So presents here. Music stop, baby. Impressive logic, that's what I'd like to say anyways.
Oh, please do. My brain is something else, especially in winter.
However, I think you are overlooking one thing. Ms. Von Kammer, would you be so kind to take another look at the autopsy report?
The autopsy report?
The victim did fall from a height of 10 feet. However, this fall was after she was killed.
Ah!
That's right. It says after death right here. The scene the witness claims to have seen is contradictory. The defendant stabbed and killed the victim there in the courtyard. How did the victim then go on to take a 10-foot fall? Order! The victim was killed and then fell. If that is the case, then the victim must have been killed in her room. Don't you agree?
That is the logical conclusion. Yes, that's right. The victim must have been stabbed by the defendant in her own room. And then she was thrown at the window down into the courtyard below.
Were there any signs of struggle in Miss Donham's room? I don't know. We didn't actually go there. She was stabbed with a sword. That would have led a trail of blood. Would leave a blood stain, wouldn't you agree? Well, Miss Von Kammer, was there any blood? Yow!
No traces of blood were found in the victim's room.
Your whip has just caused traces of blood to be found on my glorious playoff beard. However, if there is no blood in the room, then your claim to
I'm sure there's no need for me to go over this, as I'm sure your honor is well aware of when a stab wound produces the most blood.
When it produces the most blood,
very little blood is actually lost at the moment of blade insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed.
Indeed, it depends on what you stab, and also how thick the blade is. With the weapon still in place, it acts like a lid to the wound. That's true. Well, yeah, it really depends. Like, if it's a serrated blade, Chronos, you're gonna make yourself sound like a psychopath if you go into dealing with it. Look, I'm just saying it depends, alright? That's true. With the weapon still in the body, there wouldn't be much bleeding. It's a perfectly reasonable line of thinking.
We've come to a conclusion then. The victim was thrown out the window with the sword still in place. This removes all the contradictions!
Order! I must admit that this is a probable version of events. I'd expect no less from Franziska von Kammer, or this court to actually have no evidence to back it up. She locates and takes control of every vital point.
Huh.
It seems that we need a clear testimony from the witness. Remove all suppositions on your part and tell us only the facts, please. Witness, please! Remain standing on the crates!
Don't go selling me short now, just because I'm only like 2 feet tall. The way the winter snow has bent me out of shape, especially my back and my mood.
Sister, please give us your testimony. I'll give you a vigorous massage once we are finished here.
Oh, good. I can record that for my Only Nuns page.
With the whip? That still would be... Oh my god, the trash!
Come in the morning like you used to!
That's what she said. Seriously, I don't know what the hell's going on with the trash the last few months. They used to come for years. 8 a.m. It would be trash, then at 8:30, the recycling would show up. Always on Monday. It's Monday right now. So, well, not when this episode goes up. This should be Tuesday when this... Wednesday. Should be Wednesday when this episode goes up. So yeah, but now, for some reason, like, recycling comes at 8:30 still. Absolutely. But, the trash? It is 3:40 right now. And it's always a different time. Like, it's not always at 3 o'clock or 3:30. Sometimes at 2. Like, they came at 5 once. I don't know why.
Oh boy, alright.
Further details.
When I looked across the scene, the sword was already in place. Thinking about it now, I didn't actually see her stab Mystic Elise. I've never seen so much blood before. That's when I fainted. You can't believe me, can you? When I awoke, Mr. Gamey was stabbing.
Oh, right, yeah, the statue. Mr. Gamey. I'm like, wait a minute.
Stabbing Mystic Elise through her back.
This all confirms Ms. Von Karma's theory.
Von Karma strive for nothing but perfection, and lying, and faking evidence, and murder. Putting aside such facts is nothing for me. You should know that, Miles Edgeworth.
Perfection isn't a possibility, Francisca Von Karma. And hey, I'm here to teach you just that. I mean, Phoenix has already taught you a few times, but I'll finish it off.
Hold it!
At that time, was the victim bleeding?
Well, I was very shocked to be seeing all this, of course. I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think I saw any blood. Not then.
I'm sure that you didn't.
The weapon was acting as a plug in the wound.
In any case, let's be clear on a very important point. Did you actually see the incident in which the victim was stabbed?
Hold it!
Think carefully, this is very important.
It's Iris we are talking about here. I'm thinking for what I'm worth. No, when I looked over, the sword was already in Mystic Elise's body.
Might not be conclusive, but this testimony supports her theory.
The victim was stabbed in a room and then dropped in the courtyard. I think it proves rather well, Miles Edgeworth. Hold
it! So you're saying that you saw the victim's blood?
That's right. Some of it had splattered onto Iris.
When the defendant was arrested, she was meditating in her room, and her blood-flecked clothing was neatly folded in the corner. What? Those were blood-flecked as well? Yeah, someone should have told us that. That seems to be quite conclusive to me. What should I do? Press this point further? Press further! Going back to your previous statement, you said that you saw liver bleeding when the victim was stabbed. But now, you say you saw the victim bleeding.
Well, I say that I saw is what I saw.
What did you see?
Maybe I didn't see the poor woman get stabbed, but I saw the girl pull the sword out of her, plain as day.
Pulling the sword out of her?
Well, it wasn't exactly pulling. It was more like it came out.
Witness, you will add this statement to your testimony.
Oh, was that more
important than you could imagine? It kinda is important. Smoothly, you say. You're saying you saw the sword smoothly slide out.
That's right. The whole thing happened next to the gold statue of Mr. Gamey.
And that sword is in way too deep, right? Yeah. Well, I guess maybe it rotated here. I don't know.
Miss Amy was on the ground, and I was just was stooped over her.
I mean, it looks like she's alive there. So, you didn't hear her screaming or anything like that. I mean, I guess it could have punctured her lungs or something, but it didn't mention that.
So it was buried up to the hilt.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
When Iris stood up, the sword just was in her hand, just slid out of Mr. Gaming, at Lisa's body. It slid out from that gaping wound. Ah!
It goes without saying that if a sword was removed, there would be bleeding.
Nothing out of place here.
That really is the case. Is that really the case? Can't help but feel that something about this testimony is very out of place. There's something which couldn't possibly happen. Appears to have happened. Never seen so much blood. Was the bleeding caused by the killer removing the sword?
No mistaking it. I remembered it all clear as day.
Don't you think that's a bit odd?
What do you mean,
Miles Edgeworth? Why would the killer pull out the sword?
What?
If all she wanted to do was place the sword in the hand of Mystic, in the hand of the gold statue, I have Mystic Amy on the brain, I guess. Then there was no reason to remove it from the body. All that would have accomplished was causing the victim to bleed out necessarily. Your thoughts, Ms. Montgomery?
That's...
Indeed, it is strange now that you mention it. I'm gonna need to find an answer to this mystery, too.
Hey, anyway, the witness saw something terrible. So what did he do after that, witness?
Hold it!
Now, on to what the killer did next. You saw none of it, correct?
Well, I was unconscious.
Now, how long were you unconscious for?
I don't know, 10, maybe 20 minutes. A young man with a very prickly-looking head woke me up by stepping on me, actually.
Ah, I'm not sure I like the method of resuscitation. I mean, Bikini liked it, kind of. Not really.
Well, I wasn't asking for mouth-to-mouth or anything of the sorts, but I would have welcomed a more gentle awakening right after about then, let me tell you.
I shall have a word with the offender personally. What did you see upon awakening? It was not his fault. She was just laying there. By Mystic Amy, you are referring to the golden statue, correct?
That stabbing someone with this Sichi-Sito, a sacred treasure, is terrible enough. But then to make Mystic Amy hold the blade, truly a heinous, despicable crime.
Caesar despised something. Anyone can do it. However, there's something that cannot be done so easily.
Whatever it is, I'm sure it's doubly hard for you. Anyway, what is the problem?
Exactly why would the killer set up the gruesome scene? Can anyone explain the reasoning behind that? No, I don't think I can.
There isn't any logical reason behind why someone acts.
That is like a counter to every other court case we've had, where it always has to be a motive, like a reason for something. Are we now saying that they don't need a reason?
That's true, so true. In early spring, for example, I often find myself...
There isn't always. That phrase might come in handy someday. There are too many unnatural elements in this case. Why was it necessary to use the Shichi-Shido from the Amy statue as a weapon? Why was the weapon ultimately placed back in the hands of the statue? Now I can expose the flaws of this testimony. Perhaps I will begin to find the truth. Okay. So... crime scene photo. Let's check it out. Never seen so much blood. There's not that much. There's no blood in the snow. Is that it? Man, her feet must have been cold walking in the snow with those sandals. Also, the sword can't be buried up to the hilt. Like, there's not enough blood on the sword. Oh, oops. Okay, so there's two there, right? There's not a lot of blood at the scene of the crime. there's also not a lot of blood on the sword at all. So if it was plunged in to the hilt, there would be a decent amount of blood on this sword. I mean, there is a decent amount of blood right now, but all the way to the hilt? No. We'll try it here, and if this one doesn't work, we'll try the picture with the so much blood one. Music stop, baby. Sister Bikini, you're a reliable witness. At least, I'd like to think so. But there are too many contradictions here.
What do you mean? You make it sound as though I'm a liar. But you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you for it. What contradictions are you talking about?
In the scene the witness claims to have seen, the weapon was thrust up to the hilt into the victim. Furthermore, the killer withdrew the weapon smoothly from the body. However, both of these are complete impossibilities. Wait, are those brown things her feet and like her socks are what shows a little bit? Are those the stubs that I'm seeing? If so, she has gigantic feet compared to her body. I need to hold on that scene. Maybe I'll bring, well, one second, let me write this down. Grab scene at 21:40-ish. Look. Beat. I'll even put it up in here. Yeah. So every time it shows it, I think those brownish things next to the white stripes are actually her feet. If so, she does not have stubs. I thought the white parts were her feet, like in socks. But she wearing like big old boots? I mean, if that is the case, I can't, like, obviously I can't do it right now, but when in editing, I'm gonna bring up and put that, like, that image here, just so I can see and you guys can see what I'm talking about. Anyways,
explain yourself.
To start with, do you think it would be possible to stab someone to the hip with this? No matter how I look at the defendant, she doesn't appear strong enough for it.
Doesn't appear? What meaningless dribble. I too may appear to be weak and frail. And I am, but at the same time I can crush men under my heel and make them weep and get paid for it.
The difference stands. I wept a little back there, I must admit. This isn't the only issue here. If this sword was truly stabbed into the body up to the hilt, well, just look at all the branches on it. Something wouldn't come out smoothly. We also have the problem of the amount of blood. It's true that when a blade is left in a body, it acts as a plug. However, when the weapon is shaped like this, it's an entirely different story. The wound would be too large for the blade to completely stop the bleeding.
That's nothing more than conjecture. In reality, the victim was stabbed with a
Cheeto. There we go.
Even a weapon of this nature may still sometimes slide out smoothly. It may still sometimes stop the blood loss.
I'm not finished. There's still one more conclusive contradiction. You're still getting more? Like, Jesus Christ, man, I was already convinced. This one is simple. If the sword really was thrust all the way to the hilt, why is there only blood on the tip?
Ah!
This witness is telling the truth. Then there should be blood among the entire length of the blade.
No! Ah, bravo, Miles Edgeworth! Raising this many contradictions from a single piece of evidence. All the other attorneys I know could maybe manage one, if that.
I mean, Phoenix has done that before. Maybe not as many, but also there's never been that many contradictions on a single goddamn thing. But what does this all mean? You have proven contradiction regarding the murder weapon, but having come this far, there can only be one answer.
And that is?
The weapon used to kill the victim was not the Shichisuto. What?
A foolishly foolish idea born from the foolish mind of a foolhardy fool!
Let me explain this again. What was it that made us think this weapon was the murder weapon?
Well, it was because Mr. Gaming was holding it.
Exactly. However, If you reflect on this, that is the only basis we have to assume such a thing. The impression left by the scene was just too strong. That is what influenced us. It influenced us to believe that the Shito was the murder weapon. Order!
Ah! So maybe the Shito was...
I'm just gonna call it the Shitty Shito.
was not the murder weapon. Even if that was the case, it changes nothing, Miles Edgeworth. This here saw everything. She saw the defendant stab the victim with a sword-like object.
Ah, that's true. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth? If that is so, I would like the prosecution to answer the obvious question it raises. The obvious question? Yeah, where's the murder weapon?
Yes, namely, where did the real murder weapon disappear to?
It goes without saying that the police searched the main hall and the surrounding area. Perhaps the prosecution can enlighten us to if a sword-like object was found.
That's...
Answer the question, Miss Von Commer.
No evidence of that kind was found.
Ah, I have no idea if those are boots or what those brown things are. Another mystery to throw onto the pile. A trial without a murder weapon is a tricky beast.
Excuse me, could I say something? I just remembered something, actually.
Oh, God.
What is it, sister? I was just thinking, it's possible that just maybe what actually happened was, it was just over there.
What exactly are you going on about?
The murder weapon, I mean. Maybe. I think I might know where the sword was disposed of.
What?
Well then, I think we need to hear testimony from you one more time, sister.
Oh my God. Impossible. What else? What else could this old woman have seen? Are you kidding me? At this point, freaking Godot was a better witness. Alright, well... Shit. Okay, we'll hear a testimony next time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all then. Bye. Oh, shit. Press the wrong button.